All right, welcome everyone to Changemaker TV. We have an incredible guest with us today, and I'm so thrilled and just can't believe that I've got this opportunity to speak with Dan, the man, Dan Waldschmidt, and as a business strategist, keynote speaker, author, and ultra runner. Just such an influencer. I love your work, and again, I'm so thankful to have you here on my little TV series.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Hey, listen, everything big starts off little, so that's good. It doesn't matter. We're all trying to change the world, and it's great that you're out there doing that.
Oh, thank you so much. So would you mind sharing a little bit about your journey of, I know you started quite early as an entrepreneur, quite early, working your way through as a CEO, and now obviously what you're doing.
Yeah, so, as you said, I started really quite early. I tell people, like Tiger Woods was raised to play golf. I was raised to do business. Yeah. And I know that sounds silly, but, like no TV in the home, had to read a book a day, practice piano, an hour, at least an hour a day. I mean, just, it was high intensity. And so it's no wonder at 13, 14, 15, I'm starting my first businesses. That's paying my way through college, starting other businesses in college, growing those. I dropped out of college and then worked my way up a company, because I was able to help them drive revenue significantly, and then, of course, become CEO and then sell the company. And now I consult for really, really big companies all over the world. And most recently, what I've been really passionate about is taking those same lessons that help billion-dollar companies make more billions. That's fun.
Yeah.
But taking those same lessons and helping, I would say, ordinary people, you, me, we're just ordinary people, helping people like us use those same strategies and philosophies to drive magnificent personal results. And so that's what that's kind of in a nutshell what I'm all about. And I write a blog and some other stuff, just kind of throwing out my 2 cents. I'm on the Snapchat and LinkedIn and Twitter and all those places, just kind of like doing my thing.
Sure.
But all about how we can take our game, no matter where your game is, just to that next level.
That's brilliant, because I think a lot of people who are ordinary feel like that information is almost out of reach. How do they know how to access that if, they're not given that opportunity? So is that what you want to do? Like just kind of tap in and make a difference to, all levels of people to help them shift and make change?
Yeah, absolutely. So, here's what's interesting is people often don't realize how much is out there for them. So, for instance, you messaged me, I went in and I checked out your videos. You've got interviews, I felt like I got to know you just from watching all of the material that you've shared. And look, you didn't charge me a penny. I learned all this cool stuff just from watching all the content that you've created and shared with the world. It's amazing. And so, if I look at big, important schools like in the United States, we've got MIT, we've got Harvard. Almost all of MIT's courses are free, and they're available online for people to take. Now, you won't get the actual MIT degree or the Harvard, certificate, but you'll actually get all the same coursework that you could learn there. There's so much that's out there. I think what's missing from people is this sense of desire.
Yeah.
We're so busy living our lives. I'm a father. I'm a business owner. A lot of people look to me as a counselor or a strategist, whatever you want to call it, a confidant. I'm so busy doing those things that often, if I'm not careful, I don't have that quiet time to really meditate and think about, what do I want?
Yeah.
Where am I trying to be? What am I trying to who am I trying to become when I grow up? All of those things. And so we can live days, weeks, years decades of our lives, never really having purpose, never really having passion. And then we wonder, why is it hard for me to lose weight?
Yeah.
Why is it hard for me to make money? I really think the three things that motivate most people are sex, money, and health. And so, most people never sit down and go, what are my goals in each of those three categories?
Yeah.
They don't. They just kind of bumble through life. And then we have what we call a midlife crisis. So we hit 40, 50, and we go, shit, now what? Now we got to go buy a car. No, you don't need a car. and you don't need another house, although those are both awesome things.
Yeah.
What you need is a reason to get up in the morning.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I was just doing a seminar last night, and this was the exact thing that I was talking about. You know, what the topic was help. I don't know who I am anymore. And that was the big thing. I said, when have you actually spent time on you? Like, taken the time to sit down and really work out, what is your legacy? What do you want to achieve in this world, you know? And they're like, no, I don't take that time. We're so busy, like you said.
And you know what? It can start, one of the things I've been a big practitioner of is meditation. And, that's 10, 15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
That's it. And I do it around midday for me, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, stop. And maybe if I'm feeling overly stressed or overly confused or overly busy, then I will, might do 20 or 30 minutes instead of 10 or 15 minutes. But just bringing myself back to high performance. Now, here's what I find interesting, Judy. If we put this in the context of sports, and of course, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, I'm talking basketball.
Yeah.
No one has a problem with those guys having a Zen master, with those guys, taking time to kind of decompress and get their head in the game. We actually say, get your head in the game, right?
Yeah.
But then when it comes to life, whether it's fitness or personal goals, we're like, don't work too hard. We have all these, it doesn't match. If you look at what makes Olympic athletes amazing, if you look at what makes great, professional sporting players or professional, those sort of professionals great, we should just copy what they're doing.
Yeah, totally.
Without apology.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I'm taught too with NLP. It's all programming, and coming back to that, even yourself in being successful, you were obviously taught some really great skills in programming growing up that set you up for success. What do you think those things are that people could copy and apply into their own lives that you've got,
Well, my mom was, I guess, when I'm thinking of NLP, I mean, she was great at demanding mastery and getting us to understand about this sense of personal mastery. It's where you just believe that it's possible. Yeah. And so then you do it because you believe it, you do it. And so I think that's a big part of it. Look, I have a pretty rigorous morning routine. I think the rigorous morning routine gets my whole self in the mood, in the rhythm of being awesome for the day.
Yeah.
I drink 40 ounces of water to start, trying to target my body, my health. I normally have a protein shake with some fiber, things like that. I'm counterbalancing the exercise from the previous day, as well as getting ready for this day. Fiber makes you feel full. So many people just stuff useless calories in their body with drinking all these caffeinated beverages. Yeah. It's okay, I guess, once in a while. I don't know. I probably not ever, but whatever. I'm trying to give people an excuse, but really, it is what it is. They're not healthy. I mean, and so it's like, how do I counterbalance that? How can I be the purest, most effective form of high performance possible?
Yeah.
And I do it, spiritually, mentally, financially, physically. Every morning, I have some affirmations. One of the things I remind myself in my morning meditation is a simple concept. If I want something I have never had today, I must do something I've never done before.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, this is a simple reminder that it's not acceptable to just go through this day. I have to rise to the occasion and really do something extraordinary. And so just, look, that's the way I start today. It kind of puts me in the groove of being awesome. I'm already there. And then my job with meditation and then a very small evening routine is to make sure that I build momentum, I maintain momentum throughout the entire day.
Wow, that's awesome. So that was going to be one of my questions. What is your morning ritual? So water, protein shake, fiber, meditation, and affirmation through that. Anything else?
Yeah, I do some journaling. A couple things. It's very light journaling, so it's not anything super intellectual. Here's what I write down. Three things. First thing I write down are, what are a few things that I'm grateful for?
Yeah.
Now, this could be, I mean, look, this is not something high and mighty. Often I'll look out the back window and I see green grass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I have spent so much time and money on the damn sprinkler system, and I am happy that I actually have green grass growing. Yay.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. On the other hand, then I'll write down, so a couple things I'm grateful for, usually 2 or 3 things.
Yeah.
I'll then write down 1 or 2 things I could do today that would make the day awesome. Here's what's interesting about that. Not 1 or 2 things that need to get done, not paying the bills, picking up the kids from school, buying new running shoes, none of that. Not things that have to get done, things I could do that make the day awesome. And then the last thing I do is, and I've changed this last thing a little bit based on the recommendation of my therapist. I used to write down, what's one thing I could do better from yesterday? Just an awareness of areas to self-improve. And my therapist told me several months ago, look, that's bullshit. Stop doing that. Write down one thing you love about yourself. What's one thing you do that's like fucking extraordinary, right? Just write that thing down and remind yourself of all the great, amazing ways that you're already achieving high levels of greatness. Yeah. And so that's one thing I've been doing recently. Great. So, and again, Judy, that takes me what? 3 minutes? Yeah. I mean, it's such a small amount of time, but it gets your head in the context of greatness, awesomeness, being amazing. Yeah,
definitely. Sets the scene, sets the mood for the day, and then you find keeping that, being able to maintain that. If you feel yourself kind of dropping off, what strategy do you have to get yourself back in the game?
Well, really, I might be a cup of coffee just to if I feel like I'm not alert. I'm being somewhat silly, but
not a shot of tequila.
Usually, there you go. I try to push to maximum effort until middle of the day, and then I do meditation. Yeah. And then usually towards the end of the day, I go running. Yep. And I'll run. I usually run about 10 miles a day. On the weekends, I'll run 20 or more per day. But so I'm doing between 75 and 80 miles a week. But yeah, so I kind of start the day strong, push to meditation at the middle of the day, push to running at the end-ish of the day, and that kind of breaks up things for me. I also, when I apply effort, I try to do it, and some people call this the Pomodoro Method. Essentially what it is for me, it's like highly targeted activity. So I'll work for 25 minutes on the same thing. Yeah. And then I'll take a 5-minute break. And then I'll work 25 minutes on a very targeted project, and then I'll take a break. What that allows me to do is be highly creative, highly destructive when it comes to breaking through obstacles. Yeah. Because I'm just doing one thing for 25 minutes. That's it. Break down all the barriers, walk away.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great piece of advice. Switch everything else off, really hone in. No other distractions.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And something you said I was going to hook into, but it's gone. Just around the belief that your mum kind of taught you around that personal mastery and kind of believing that it's possible. Would you say that's been the most powerful belief for you that's got you through and continues to drive you?
Well, I know you can't see it, but on my arm I've got, the sleeve, but inside my business shirt there is the word, on one side of my arm it says the word believe. And I get asked everywhere I go, what's one piece of advice that you would give us? And I would say this: believe. So I think that's probably one lesson I learned from my mother, from my parents in general, is believe. Meaning, look, good things happen to people doing good things. Yeah. That's just always how it happens. Now, it may take a decade to create that overnight success story. It may take, you may be dead before people realize the full impact of your greatness. Yeah. That's okay. Believe in yourself. Believe that what you're doing matters. Believe that you can create a ripple effect across the universe. So many of us give up. And here's the question I ask, and I guess we don't know the full measure, but how often are we giving up right before we were going to be successful. In other words, what if today was the day you were going to win and you just didn't show up? What then? And so I think that's where belief carries us through, because that belief gives us the courage, it gives us the stamina, it gives us the motivation to just do one more thing. And again, where belief is a muscle. It's like your legs that power you to run a 5-minute mile, or the core exercises I see you doing on your with a stick, on your YouTube channel. There's probably a more professional name for that thing, but
sounds
like
that,
it's awesome. But what though you don't get abs, you don't get a toned body by accident.
No.
It's not like, oh, hey, I'm gonna roll out of bed and have a toned body.
No,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's so disrespectful to all the people who are putting in the hard work to earn that. And I think the same is true with belief. People say, oh, I wish I had confidence. I'm just not a confident person. No. You're a lazy person.
Yeah.
Because there's muscle memory that you develop, and it's not so much confidence as it is belief. And you're developing and cultivating and nurturing that belief. And that's where you can rise to increase levels of achievement. But you have to develop those muscles.
Definitely. That was the thing I remember I come back to. You spoke about when you're doing those, 25, really focusing on, being productive and creative.
Yep.
Is that how you tap into that creativity? Is there any other way that you find inspiration to be creative, and what do you need to do to really hook into that creative side?
One, I think it's an attitude of obsession.
Yeah.
Look, you're obsessed about it. You know this from the fitness world. It's not good enough to say, oh, I'm certified by XYZ person, so now I know how to do stretching exercises.
Yeah.
It's this obsession to say, okay, I know the basics, but how do I take this further?
Yeah.
Right? And that's where you achieve this next level, is obsession. So if you are obsessed, I set that as a ground, like the platform, the launching off point. If you are obsessed, then it pushes you in a lot of ways, meaning I could be walking down the street and I see something and I'm like, oh, wow, that would be great. Or I observe something happening and I can plug that into something I'm already doing. Now, the 25 minutes is really about execution.
Yeah.
It's about, not talking, not thinking, although sometimes there is thinking. It's about plugging right into direct activity and getting things done.
Yeah.
And I think that's the impetus behind there. But look, a lot of people aren't obsessed about where they want to be. They do things, again, going back to what we said 15, 20 minutes ago. People do things because someone told them they should do it. They have no idea about what it is they really want, and so everything is half-ass.
Yeah.
Everything is unproductive, and they're like, but Dan, I'm doing all those things. I've got my resume out. Yeah, but you're not really looking for a mission.
Yeah.
You're looking for someone to pay the bills while you goof off.
Yeah.
So
how did you spend the time, like take half a day or a few days and really ask yourself those questions to dive in, and or was it over a period of time of really this kind of passion and legacy that what you wanted to be pulled towards was, developed or created?
Well, not enough, I don't, probably. But, I do a couple things to safeguard myself. One is I have that morning routine, the daily routine that creates kind of the structure around what I want to do. And then I also, go see, I'm pretty religious about seeing a therapist, right? Because that allows me to kind of have an outside perspective, make sure that I'm actually not just going through the motions. I've got someone else holding me accountable. And then I think on top of that, on another front, I don't know. I guess I don't think about legacy. Sorry, I'm moving all over the place.
Yeah,
here.
That's all right.
I don't really think of the word legacy. That seems like a really big word.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, I think it's a good word. I think about what could I do to be awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of the word I'm using a lot these days, is awesome. When you see someone who's awesome, it kind of takes your breath away. Yeah. And so, like, what could I do to do that? And then look, like, the world would be a such better place. And for each of us as individuals, our individual lives would be so much better if we were just kind, motivated people. Yeah. Look, being motivated doesn't mean you're stepping on other people on your way to where you want to be. That just makes you an asshole, right?
Yeah.
That's nothing to be proud of. I mean, the reality is, what if you were kind? It's amazing how that kindness comes back to you when you need it most.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a couple of really, maybe I learned that from mom and dad. I don't know, probably, right? Is that there are these bad habits we let ourselves fall into that come back to bite us later. And so I think if we can, we spend a lot of time, what's the next big strategy? What's the next big plan? What's the next big, business model that we need to achieve? And look, yes, you should be spending time obsessing about ways you can get better. But ultimately, what are the personal habits that are in your life stopping you from achieving that next level of greatness?
Yeah.
I mean, it might be pretty staggering if you were to, take an honest look at look, I'm just a jerk. And so no one wants to help me. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty eye-opening. There's a phrase that I learned when I was studying business, and it goes like this: if you hear galloping sounds, you should expect horses, not zebras.
Yeah.
Right? And I guess it just goes to say to us, look, it's probably not a highfalutin business strategy that's missing. It's probably something obvious, like you're lazy, or you make mad money decisions, or you make bad love decisions. And so all of these things are tearing you apart. Or you have negative people in your life who are tearing you down, right?
Yeah,
so again, that's the obvious thing, but we're always running around saying, maybe I need to buy this course on greatness. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe you just need to not be an idiot and put in the effort.
Yeah, that's right. Working on yourself, becoming that best version of yourself, not, stepping on people, and having integrity, being real about the shitty sides of you, Not,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually not some mystery.
No.
If you take an honest look at yourself and your results and where you want to, take your game to the next level, it's usually something pretty obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So you've given us some incredible advice. What about just one more question before we wrap it up? What's been your biggest challenge in your career that I guess has taught you the greatest lesson as well?
Probably trying to figure out how to be a spouse.
Yeah.
So I think marriage is
not
probably
an easy game.
if you take the most complex business problem in the world and then multiply it times 4 and then square root it and then multiply that times 7 billion.
Yeah.
That's how hard marriage is. Marriage, look, I think making money is easy. Love is hard. Dedication, commitment, putting up with someone else's crap, kind of solving your own crap, right? So that someone else doesn't have to put up with it. I mean, that's just really hard. What's neat about it is business is not done by robots. It's done by people. And so we're all going through these same challenges. We all have these same concerns. We all are trying to figure out our path forward. And the beauty of that is all of the humanity that you learn and uncover in marriage or any relationship. Doesn't even have to be marriage. Any relationship that you're with and you're committed to will teach you everything you need to know about greatness in all the other areas of your life, whether it's making money, whether it's getting back in shape, whether it's trying to save to buy a new house or get promoted, whatever it is. That greatness is right under the covers of your relationship. All of the things that you're missing are exposed in those areas, probably because we spend the most time with our partners.
Yeah.
And so that's where they can call bullshit on our bad habits, right?
Well, that's right. You can't be out of integrity with those people because you live with them.
Yeah.
They know when you're
that's exactly right.
when you're talking bullshit and when
That's exactly right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. And so I guess that, like all of us struggle with is the whole balancing out all those aspects of relationship, business, and the big question is balance really possible?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, look, and it's boring too. If everybody's saying the same note on a song, no one will want to listen to that song.
Yeah, that's
we
right.
like harmony.
Yeah.
Harmony. What's nice about harmony is it goes up and it's down and it's up, and sometimes there's notes that contrast. If you like jazz, jazz music has weird, funky patterns, but that's what gives us the joy of being a part of music. And I think the same is true with life. Is there's going to be ups and there's downs, but on a more practical note, you're going to be doing different things at different times. My children are older. When they were my oldest is almost 13. My youngest is a beautiful 5-year-old daughter. Oh, wow. Look, we do different things at 5 than we do 13, and so if we did a balance, which is everything in the same amount and type, then it would be silly. And so I think we have to apply the same thing to our lives to say, are we harmonizing? In other words, do you like the music your life is making? Yeah. If you don't, then fix the music of your life.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's a nice analogy.
So.
Wow, awesome. Is there anything else that you want to share for some inspiration to those people that are watching? There's already been a ton of it.
I have given you all my best nuggets.
Yes.
There is no more knowledge. No more knowledge.
Well, tell us more about where people can find you. I know you've got a book, your website, and so on.
Yeah, I mean, it's danwaldschmidt.com or edgyconversations.com. Now, look, if you just Google Dan Waldschmidt, unfortunately, I am everywhere, it seems, these days. So, I mean, if you do a search, I'll be there. Send me a message if you want to chat. Look, I answer all my own emails and all that good jazz and get back to people pretty quickly. Yeah. I'm in the business of helping people who want to change. So if you don't want to change, you probably shouldn't message me. But if you're looking for ideas and help and insight, let's talk about it.
Yeah, you sound like you're the ultimate change maker yourself, and I'm just so privileged and so honored to, be able to have this time with you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. Stay up.
Thank you.
Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Be awesome. Be
You
awesome.
too.
Bye.